Mille. All right, you guys have been patient enough. I think you guys have been patient enough. Wait a second. We're so close. We could taste it. Certified Lover Boy from Champagne Papi. Here we go. Here's the first thing I want to do. Are you ready? Here we go. Amazing. Incredible. Fantastic. Incredible. All right, we're gonna just do this. Here we go. There we go. That's what we want. That's what we want right there. Now I'm going to notify everybody on Twitter. So anybody coming in is going to be like, what the fuck? Now that people are coming in, act cool. Act cool. Now that people are coming in, act cool. Act cool. Now that people are clicking on it, act cool. Okay? Act cool now. Act like it's not even there. Act like it's not even there. Act like, what are you talking about? That's the cover. Let's listen to this new Drake record. Drake, Certified Lover Boy. Instant classic. Undoubtedly going to change the game. Brand new LP with 21 songs, an hour and 26 minutes. And they said the new Kanye was too long. We knew this Drake record was going to be long as fuck. Without any further ado, I think we should just get into the record. Love the cover art. If some of you guys have seen it, we've been admiring it here in chat. It's really cool. I love the multicolored pregnant figures. I think it's really unique cover art. I think it's really artful of Drake to do that art. Champagne Poetry is going to be the opener of the record. Let's give it a spin and see exactly what Drake is bringing to the table. Ba-bam.
I've been hot since the birth of my son. It's the pretty boys versus the petty. Nothing else bigger than the OVO Letterman. And nothing tell the truth like the eyes will. You couldn't pay the Champagne Poetry. Some of the greatest quotes for me. And above me, I see nobody. I'd have to, nigga, I'm wildin' with your bread. Sign the contracts, he don't even show it to me. Tell the love back, cause yeah. Charges being labeled, we'll see what they. If money's all I need in my grave, then bury me now. Can't even RIP and show my remorse at all. My parents' divorce is on me. My therapist will move is like rolling dice on a board. Perfect time to give me 25 more for rewards. How the f do we manage to find a new part of me to explore? Yeah.
Okay, first track there, Champagne Poetry. You know, I see a lot of people being negative toward it in chat, but I don't really agree. There were some kind of, awkward transitions, and I will say that it did start to drag on at the end. It wasn't a strong finish. It kind of felt like more of a trail off than, like a formal ending. But with that being said, I liked a lot of Drake's bars. I liked the somewhat melodramatic tone of the song. I liked how tragic and weight of the world on my shoulders, a lot of his, wordplay kind of felt. I thought it had a kind of moody attitude that I sunk into pretty easily. I liked the mostly drumless and heavily sample-based production. I thought it was a cool start. Again, I think he could have gotten everything sounding a lot tighter and a lot more potent with a shorter runtime. I don't know if he needed to drag it out this long, but I don't think it was a bad start to the record. I don't think it was a bad song at all. And I will say, going into this LP, as much as I have been kind of breaking, Drake's balls and the balls of Drake's fans, keep in mind, I don't anticipate to hate this record. It's a long LP. I've heard a lot of negative stuff about it. I've heard a lot of positive stuff about it. And frankly, I've heard some very positive stuff about it from people whose music opinions, hey, thank you for the sub, appreciate it. I've heard some very positive stuff about it behind the scenes from some people whose music opinions I take very seriously. So I'm hoping to be kind of impressed here. So Champagne Poetry, I don't think is an awful start. I'm not, hating the intro to this record. I could get down with a curious intro, depending on whether or not, the heat comes immediately after. And I don't think that was a bad one. Drake has done, very long, multi-phased intros before, Tuscan fucking leather. So, I think this intro, even if I wasn't crazy about the ending, is very much in his wheelhouse. I didn't mind it at all. In fact, I thought especially the first whole section, before the beat switch, I loved. I think he could have ridden that for even longer. All right, Papi's Home is the next track. Let's get going.
I know that I heard. To all my sons worldwide, you get your clout up and get your money up, but turn me up. That's how I know you never seen the top. I looking like Magic City parking lot.
Let me run that line back again.
I know you never seen the top.
Never seen the top or never seen a top? What kind of top, Drake?
Parking lot.
I'm just kidding. I do like this track so far, though.
Like Magic City parking lot, and I'm coming with the wop. Sign my name on a dot. Cause they doing something that is not Pepsi. The truth is that I get around. City coming off a lockdown. Cause they pop down. Used to want, you know how I'm rocking now. Your mama to talk to you.
I'ma bring that motherfucking big speed.
Not a Nicki verse, though? Not a Nicki verse?
Look me in the eyes, Junior.
Okay. I mean, all right. I mean, generally, I liked the production on that one. I liked the flow. I liked that vocal passage on the back end. I guess just like from the Nicki section onward, I just felt like there could have been more. There could have been something. There could have been more development, but it just kind of trailed off toward a somewhat inconsequential ending. Outside of that, though, I did like the track. I mean, I'm not trying to, suck the record's dick or anything. I'm kind of vibing to it so far. I'll go hard on it when I feel like it's appropriate, but I feel like so far it's okay. I feel like if you guys are hating this so far, you're going to be in for a rough fucking ride when the songs get awful, because there's probably going to be at least a couple like absolutely terrible tracks. And if this is like the worst thing in the world to you, I don't know, man. It's you're in for a rude awakening. Girls Want Girls with Lil Baby. Let's see why girls want girls. Let's see.
Whoa, hey. Say that you a lesbian, girl, me too. Hey, girl.
No. 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 No, God, no. What the fuck? I've seen people posting this bar all day and I just was not ready to hear it. All right, let's keep going.
Can I play a player, babe? I grew up with Drake, wasn't something they just gave away. Did I only vibe with a payday? Yeah, where we both from? Texting me and say I need to see you. I might go, I don't know. I come, I might. Girls want my girl got a girlfriend. Surgery, I'll pay for that. My Curtis pretty bitches, keep them both on fleek. They love me, so they gon' let us in. Casamigos is getting heated. She like eating pussy, I'm like me too. Bitch, bring your girlfriend along with you. Bitch, run around the town with me. Oh no.
Not for nothing. And, there were some like bars in the Baby verse that were kind of corny, but I feel like he was only backing up the corniness of the song to begin with. I guess all I want to say here is I feel like Lil Baby was probably like rapping too hard for what the song was requiring. You know what I mean? Like he outshined the fuck out of Drake on the song. He outshined the fuck out of Drake on the track. But I feel like it's like, man, you really went like above and beyond the call for this ass fucking song. Like how Lil Baby got up the energy to even like bring what he brought on that track is beyond me. I don't know how he just came through and was like, you know what? I'm going to rap like my life depends on it on this track. Okay.
I might come.
I'm sorry. That song's probably going nowhere fast. I don't know if we need to hear the rest of the song. Honestly, like with that track, obviously the sentiment of the song and a lot of Drake's bars on that track sucked. They sucked ass. They were annoying. They were gross. But I'm not even as not into that as I am not into the beat was really one-dimensional, bland synths, boring rhythms, totally unimaginative, just awash in this really forgettable atmosphere, absolutely like no soul to this instrumental. It's like the most elevator background fucking boring trap, lifeless instrumental bullshit I've heard on a major project all year. And on top of that, Drake is just like doing nothing with it, doing nothing on top of it. There's like no oomph. There's no emotion. It's just kind of a little moody. He does kind of bring something to the table when he starts to, you know, like kind of jump into that more nasally and higher registered singing voice and kind of transitioning out of the rapping. There is a little more something there, but like outside of that, there's like no charisma or energy to this song at all. And I don't know, the topic of the track is kind of cheeky and, you know, kind of flirty and kind of, you know, a little preposterous. You'd figure that attitude would come through in the performance, but it like absolutely doesn't. Like you would think that they were rapping about something that was 10 times more boring or something that there was like no implied humor to whatsoever with the way they're delivering. But the energy just seems off. You know, again, granted, there are some cringe bars on the track, but the fact that it just sounds like, to sound this boring this early on the record is a sin. To sound this sinfully boring, I feel like is really the track's greatest issue, honestly. Because, you know, honestly, if you told Danny Brown to like rap a verse about like, I don't know, eating pussy with some chick, it'd probably come out funny, you know? But like when Drake's doing it, he's like, hey, let's do this, but with as little energy as possible. And why? Aren't you an entertainer? Aren't you supposed to be entertaining people, not boring people to death? I don't know. All right. In the Bible with Lil Durk and Giveon. Lil Durk's been having a moment as of late. Vocal's a little tired. Has been having a moment as of late. I'm looking forward to what he does on this record for sure. And I do like some of the vocals I've been hearing from Giveon as of late. Let's see if they have some chemistry on this one.
Body damn, the things just start to pile. None of the niggas, how them niggas love you now? Lay your ass down, and that liquor don't say that in the Bible. You know, okay.
Gucci and Poochie deep in the budget. I'm Muslim, I go back around. She only play me in the whip.
The features are fucking saving this shit like it's the Whales.
Royal Cosmetic, I'm just promoting her shit.
I mean, granted, it doesn't save the song, you know, overall, because it's like the production is still boring. Drake still kicked the entire track off, just, you know, sounding like a fucking snoozer. But like, Drake's features must really want it, must really be happy to be here, or must, you know, just see their opportunity to stand out is really easy, because how could you fucking not? Like, the beats are lifeless, and Drake isn't exactly, you know, starting things off with a bang. He sat, you know, frankly, I know you guys hated like the first two tracks on the record for the most part, but he sounded way better. Drake sounded way better on the first two tracks of this record than he has for these two most recent tracks.
A good girl inside still want me.
All right. I'm kind of tired of being haunted by these fucking ghost samples. Great features, but boring Drake, boring production, comatose, lifeless fucking everything. We're only 4 songs in, and I don't want to be right, but I feel like so far this is just indicative of everything that I've been saying about Drake shit since Views. He's just not trying. He's not trying. He doesn't care as much. I don't know. He's not focused. He's not hungry. He's not anything. He's fucking sleepy. Now this next track,
previously,
Love All with Jay-Z, I want this to be fire. You're going toe to toe with a legend here. Come on, let's pick it the fuck up, please. For the love of Christ.
Ready to Die.
Like, and I'm not just looking for Jay to bring a good verse here, because I'm sure Jay's verse is going to be fine. I want Drake to meet the moment of being on a song with Jay. But I have a feeling that once again, because this is Drake's house, he's going to feel like, I'm just going to lay here in my bathrobe and just...
Never had a lot, niggas turned their back on me for no good reason. Pouring out my soul and it might sound for good reason. Never had a lot, just grab the top spot like part of my reach.
Niggas
wanted to kill me and y'all still with him. Nigga, best thing I could do is not build with you. And I know where the fuck you live. Nigga, we don't tennis that. Y'all gotta do something. Niggas want sympathy after they want to end me. But the value,
Never had a lot,
nothing.
this is all I...
Jay-Z's knees are crackling from carrying this fucking song. You know, I didn't really mind Drake's lyrical content on that track. He was pretty focused on these themes of betrayal, feeling isolated, feeling lonely, not feeling like he has a whole lot of friends in the industry. You know, it's a point he keeps harping on in a lot of his music. It's something he's harped on for quite a bit over the years. And I wonder if, yeah, I guess I just kind of like, you know, ponder the reality of that. Like, how lonely is it at the top for Drake right now? And if it is as lonely as he's portraying it, that prolonged loneliness, is he just like really depressed right now? Is he just like tired? Is he just sad? Is he just not feeling very good? I mean, if that's the case, I empathize for the guy. I hope he finds friends, and I hope he ends up in a place where he's less lonely. But again, if that is the case, maybe it's impacting his mood. Maybe it's impacting his music. Maybe he's desperately trying for his music. Maybe Drake is desperately trying to become unfamous right now before our ears. And he's just trying really hard. He's like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm trying as hard as I can to become less famous so I can get some friends. But every time I put out a new record, I just get more famous no matter what I do. What am I doing wrong? I literally put out a compilation of extras. I put out a playlist with my dad on the cover. I give you one bloated record after another and you love it anyway. What do you want me to do? Do I need to give you a 3-hour album of boring songs? I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, it's perplexing. You know, again, if Drake is unhappy and suffering from all of the isolation and everything, and, you know, feeling like he doesn't have real friends and it's just a bunch of hangarounds and people asking him for stuff all the time, I mean, maybe that's true. And I feel for the guy if that's what he's going through. And I hope he can find a point where he's happy and maybe a little more energized with his music at some point, you know, because he's not sounding very inspired on this record. You know, especially when comparing the stuff here to Nothing Was the Same, Take Care, and especially like mixtape Drake, was so inspired, was so passionate, was actually, in my opinion, a real certified lover boy. There's nothing to me that rings as lover boy on this so far. There's nothing about it that's fun or flirty or sexy, the least bit appealing. Like, you know, be honest with yourself. If you're a woman in chat listening to this music, like, you want to go hang out with Drake at the penthouse so he could, like, what, cry in your lap all night? Because that's all that it sounds like is going to fucking happen if we're, you know, if what's happening on this record is accurate. You just want Drake crying in your lap the whole night? Like, listen, let me tell you, if you go out with Drake at the penthouse, you're not going anywhere. There's nowhere to go. Drake's just going to be crying in the robe all night. Drake does not want to go out. He's not feeling good. Next track is Fair Trade with Travis Scott. Now, I mean, again, expectations on this song set high. Drake and Scott had a great crossover on If You're Reading This Is Too Late. Let us not also forget that these are the two that brought us Sicko Fucking Mode. So I'm hoping with those past successes, we see some chemistry once again. Let's see.
Feeling young, but they treat me. Said he put some money on my head. I the dirt that they threw on my name. Do about it.
I mean, instrumentally and vibe-wise, it's so stereotypically Drake, and he may have even used this flow before, but it doesn't matter. It's like 5 times better than the last few tracks.
Wheels keep rolling, rolling. Fair trade to me if I ever heard one. I've been losing friends and finding peace.
Honestly, like, more bars about losing friends. He's losing friends.
Don't invite me over here. town, never content to mill a van and get it frequent. And I'm outside. 20.
Nice. Hell yes, Travis Scott, Fortnite, McDonald's, PlayStation.
Mr. Needle Drop.
He went dicko mode on that. Okay, all right. I thought that was the strongest track so far. I like that one a lot. Travis did take a little bit to get going, and his lyrical showing was not like the best, but I loved the beat switch. I loved how subtle, but also I loved how subtle the change was, but when the change was like in full effect, it was great. His flows over that change were fantastic. Just loved the vibe of the track overall. Drake was low key, but he still brought a little bit more energy than he's been bringing so far. And that losing friends and finding peace line is, you know, undeniably an earworm. And yeah, you know, I thought his bars on the track weren't that bad either. Best track so far. Best track so far. And, you know, keep in mind, I did pretty much like the first two, but, you know, that was the first one I think I have some stronger feelings for sure. All right. Next, Way Too Sexy with Future and Young Thug. I'm hoping maybe we're building up some momentum here. Maybe we're going to pick things up on this record around the midpoint. Maybe with Future and Young Thug on the track, there will be cause to go a little bit harder, be a bit more energized, you know? Let's see. Way Too Sexy. The Right Said Fred sample. The Right Said Fred sample. All right. I don't know what drove that, but listen, if Kanye can have the glob 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 glob, Drake can have The Right Said Fred. I don't care. I just want the song to turn out good.
Yeah, I'm too sexy for this.
Oh no. Does it play for the whole fucking song? Does it play for the whole fucking track? Is it literally is it the whole fucking song it plays? Are you fucking kidding me? It's not just the intro?
Too sexy for your girl. I'm too sexy for this chain.
No wife or body. I'm a fucker.
I pop out, get ghosts on a bitch.
I'm sorry. I can't wipe this look off my face right now. This look is stuck on my face right now. I'm sorry.
For all my dogs, all my niggas.
My nose is starting to hurt, but I can't get out of this reaction.
Dripping in and out, spilling in and new.
Giorgio, I spent 26 licks.
You know, I liked the beat on that one. Energy was higher. Thugger verse was cool. Future did his thing. Fit into the track pretty seamlessly. But just the sample, the refrain, the whole Drake verse, in my opinion, trash. Just goofy idea for a fucking song. Not cool at all. Whack, corny. The Metro housing bar was fucking corny. Of course you have to send them back, Drake, because it's a school night. Of course. Like, just whackness from front to backness. I don't really have anything else to say. Okay, let's just move on to TSU. Hoping this is better. Hoping this is better. Okay. Ba-bam.
We back. What's up, ladies? What's up in Bay City?
Oh, is this the one with the R. Kelly interpolation? Is that the one here? Okay.
She used to dance, but she want alone. Daddy's not around, mama's definitely not around. She got a big.
That's kind of a really creepy bar from Drake. About mommy and daddy not being around and everything. I'll just say that.
Plan, but she just ain't had time to write it down. Oh, yeah. Why you wanna?
I feel like my brow. I feel like I've furrowed my brow so many fucking times over the last. How long has it been? I feel like I'm getting a headache from just doing this. From just constantly like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I feel like I'm just giving myself a headache from just constantly trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Jesus Christ. Christ. Ugh. Oh my God.
Girl, you know what I did.
I don't know. That was kind of weird. In some ways, it reminded me of some of the more atmospheric, multi-phase moments from Nothing Is the Same, or Nothing Was the Same, but not quite like the punch there. He had that narrative going where, obviously he's like obsessing over this young dancer who's in obviously not the best situation, sympathizing and wanting to help, but simultaneously that, given the context of numerous things, does seem a little stalkery, or maybe a little voyeuristic, I guess I'm still kind of making sense over how I feel about the lyrics and the narrative of the song overall, but just like sonically, it's another snoozer, and the beat switch wasn't even really all that strong. It just seemed like kind of tacked onto the whole thing. And I'm just not really crazy about that one either. And I think the, weird R. Kelly inclusion, I guess, speaks for itself. In Too Deep, another song featuring Future. Let's see where this one goes. Got some big, chunky guitar riffs. Yeah, exactly. Jail at Home. It's Jail at Home.
When I see you, wait till your ends. You a little post-so baby. Show you just who I was. Got that shit.
What was everything that we just heard, would that just be considered an intro? Because given the title, This Is the Song, was that whole just like a first half of the song intro or something? Like what? Okay.
Some bad bitches.
I mean, thank you. I mean, honestly, everything after the beat switch I was fine with. If it was just kind of condensed down to that track, it'd be pretty cool. I mean, Drake obviously didn't shine as much as Future during that portion of the track, but it wasn't bad. Again, a little Travis Scott-esque, but not awful. Next track, Pipe Down. We're officially sort of around the midpoint of the project finally. Let's keep going. I don't know what God, where's my brain going to be after this record is over?
I'm working on dying.
Said you belong to the street. That raw shit, that honesty. Yeah. You can never tell nobody that you held me down. I can't believe you put it on your mother's life. Look at me, he fell off twice. And
honestly, this was kind of a highlight for me. I was kind of a highlight. I mean, that may feel like a very kind of familiar, angry, fed up in a relationship that I feel like is kind of thankless Drake. And it's a little toxic, granted. But honestly, it was more engaging than a lot of what's been happening up until this point. Especially on the vocal end. I thought there were some standout bars too. On your ass like back pockets? I don't know. I thought that one was pretty sharp. I like that track quite a bit. Not like the most mind-blowing thing I've heard all year, but very good for this record. And, a couple of heads above 80% of everything thus far. So, I don't know. I can't complain about that one. Yebba's Heartbreak is the next one. Let's give it a spin.
Much better in a show.
I need some of this chocolate because, man, this album is dry. This album's dry.
Swear to you, I do.
It was a gorgeous interlude. Not going to deny that. I mean, again, it's just kind of an interlude, but it's still a nice moment. All right. No friends in the industry.
no friends in the industry. You don't know me more than that. Yeah. No friends in the industry. Whoa, I was known for snapping when I checked. Yeah, I had to draw the line between my brothers. Get something back. But you really ain't my people. Yeah, niggas so offensive knowing they don't have it laps. I've been doing it for a long time. By association.
I got energy. Got a lot of energy.
Go.
I mean, I like it. I think it's an improvement. It's an improvement over much of everything else here. But I mean, it's not like we haven't heard this kind of song before from Drake. You know what I mean? I got enemies, got a lot of enemies, which I love that track. I mean, it's a great track. And that's probably why I like this one as well. It just didn't have as strong as a chorus, you know. But again, it was fine for Drake, okay in the grander scheme of things, and great for this record. Like, more than halfway in, and this song, which is by no means, you know, game changing, is like one of the most fire moments on the entire LP, which is kind of saying something. All right, I'm hoping the next one is a banger too, because not only does it have 21 Savage, but Project fucking Pat is on it, 3-6, all fucking day. Project Pat was actually trending today because of this shit, so that's pretty cool. Let's spin it and see what it's got.
My pistol gon' bleed the streets. Stay ahead in this bitch,
L gang reppin'. We done back FN, shoot east or west end.
I heard Papi outside, and he got real Papi outside. I'ma drop this shit and had these put in the eyes I despise.
The Glock like to leave hickeys. I come straight up out the.
The Glock likes to leave hickeys. Oh my god.
We don't spell
and that Drake bar about getting Papi outside.
I fuck with her, look do the her for sure.
I kind of feel like this one was a highlight too. I liked this one too. Yeah, it dragged down a little bit at the end, but I liked it too. All right, well, look, this song starts with a time in the morning, so, you know, this track is probably going to have a certain vibe to it. You know, the moment Drake mentions what time it is in the title, it's, you know, gonna have a certain angle to it. It's probably even gonna have a certain instrumental taste to it as well. You know, there's something about Drake when he's bringing up what time it is. You know, it puts, you know, it's kind of warning you ahead of time that it's it's gonna be a certain kind of thing. You know, it's gonna be like. I feel like on tracks where Drake is bringing up the time, that's when his songs are the most diaristic. You know, he's sort of like in a moment in his head, and he's telling you what he's really thinking. Some people are saying it's a Ye diss. I mean, given what has just fucking happened, what the fuck else would be on Drake's mind other than a Ye diss? That makes total sense. You know, we have, here's the time, here's where I am. These are the things that I'm thinking at this time. Bam. Just pooping it out. That's you know, that's that Drake energy. You know, why would he name all these songs with the fucking time if he didn't sort of like write and sort of conceive of these songs in a certain kind of mind state? You know what I mean? All right. 7 a.m. on Bridle Path. That's how Drake starts off his diary entries. Dear Diary, 7 a.m. on Bridle Path. Kanye dissed me today and posted my address on Instagram. I wasn't happy about it. And here's what I think of that rapscallion. Sorry. Bridle Path. Sorry. I can't. I have dyslexia, guys. I can't read good. Especially when I am up late and I'm tired. I don't read good, okay? All right, I apologize. All right, letters and words get switched around in my head all the fucking time. Excuses. Well, I'm sorry. No, fuck it. It's not an excuse. I literally have a hard time fucking reading, so fuck you. Why else the fuck would I fuck up a word like bridle and say a word? Bridle isn't even a fucking word. Whatever. 7 a.m. on Bridle Path. Let's go.
Yeah. I wish everyone could tell me exactly what they need from me behind closed doors, but playing it.
This is exactly the kind of flow that Drake does on these kind of tracks. Are you fucking kidding me? And super nostalgic sample on the beat too. This is exactly what I would have felt was going to be the vibe. on this track.
Little kids, you ain't famous to me. Told you I'm
It's funny that you guys actually think this is hot. Oh my God. Is this the first track that you guys have said is hot on the record? I can't even remember. There's probably been a couple so far, but like you guys have like hated the fuck out of most of the songs on this record so far. You know, truth be told, I don't mind this track. I like it myself. I usually like Drake when he's in this mode. That's why I kind of like, you know, made the note of the 7 a.m. fucking thing, because whenever he does these tracks, he has a certain kind of energy that honestly I like. It's like very diaristic. He's very fed up. He's very much in a ranting kind of I'm annoyed with everything kind of mood. And you know, there are some whack bars here and there, like they talk on me like I'm mean, but I just say what I mean. But I actually don't mind Drake in this mode. You know, this is usually when he's like the most focused and, you know, saying some of his most, I guess, like sharpest criticisms and observations of his current mind state and, I guess, Drakey type of experience, I guess.
I could give a fuck about who designing your sneakers and tees.
Yeah, Drake, we know you do not give a fuck about the shirt design. We know. We get it.
Get that address to your driver, make it your destination. This
Ooh, don't just post my address out of desperation, Kanye. Honestly, I feel like the mid section of this record is heating up a little bit. Like the first leg was just so hit or miss, mostly miss. I feel like the middle of it is turning up the heat a bit. Okay, I mean, some biting songs toward Kanye. Lonely in the industry. I'm feeling this way. I'm feeling that way. It's kind of the vibe I expect from this kind of track. I like it. I think it's fine. It's at least picking up the pace for the middle of the record, which again, I said, I think the album is better around the midriff than it is at the start. But having said that, you know, like 14 tracks in, I'm just like really struggling to hear and see what exactly makes this record significant in Drake's overall catalog. Because like, what's the guiding theme? What's the new sonic concept or direction? What's the current chapter of Drake's story that we need to know about or we're hearing about that we haven't really heard before? You know what I mean? I feel like everything that Drake is saying to us, like in terms of like an update, here's what's going on with me currently, is much of what we've known him to be telling us about his life and his experience at the top, you know, since like Scorpion. You know what I mean? I feel like we're not really getting too significant of an update or, you know, a refreshing understanding, I don't know, of the position that he's in right now. Narratively speaking, it would seem to me, at least from like, you know, reading what Drake is saying and the lack of progression and significant highlights, again, speaking narratively here, it would seem kind of like the Drake story is hitting kind of a lull. It's in a bit of a rut right now because, you know, what's the climax of this moment in the narrative? You know, the fact that he had to respond to you know, if he didn't have to respond to Kanye on that track, like if the whole Kanye beef didn't even happen, would this track even exist? Would this track even be on this record? And if that's not, like, what else is there really here to say on this LP that he's not saying everywhere else? You know, and look, I'm not saying, you know, that merely like, oh, you know, Drake's talking about no friends in the industry and girls and this and that. Yeah, he talks about that on every record. But like, you know, outside of that, you do kind of get like glimpses and, you know, interesting angles and takes on his life and experience currently. And I just feel like we're not really getting that to a strong degree on this LP. It just kind of feels like more of the same in almost every way. And a lot of these tracks just kind of remind me of, you know, songs from Scorpion, songs from Views, songs from Nothing Was the Same. And I don't know if I would go too much further back than that. You know what I mean? You know, songs from If You're Reading This. But it kind of seems like we're almost hearing a compilation of ideas and vibes and feelings from, you know, that section of his catalog, with a few really bad fucking ideas popping up here and there, like that Way Too Sexy track. And I don't know, I'm just not really seeing what this record adds to Drake's catalog overall, because like as mediocre as, you know, Scorpion and Views were because they were so bloated, I could at least like recall a certain kind of vibe and sound to those LPs, you know? And there being like still like classic tracks that came out of those records in those eras. Hotline Bling, still one of Drake's best tracks to date. But is there any track on here as catchy or as significant as Hotline Bling? I mean, I guess we'll see from here if there's any song that launches off of this thing in a supremely viral way, since Drake, you know, didn't do a big single in the lead up to this LP. You know, time and fan engagement will tell, you know, whether or not there's like any hugely viral tracks off of this record. But as of right now, I'm not hearing anything like as like devastatingly hooky as that track was. And I don't know. I guess that's all I have to say for now. Race My Mind is the next track. Another song, no feature. So let's see if Drake carries it. Ba-bam.
Just hung up the phone at night. Think you fell fast.
Man, we're really going like in on the fucking harps. I mean, it's not bad. With the Biggie samples. Okay, the beat's not that fucking interesting. Come on, you got to give me something. Whew. Good thing there's a beat switch here or something. I was wondering, like, what the fuck is this going to do for the next 2 minutes? Okay. I mean, that track was definitely engaging than a lot of the stuff that was going on in the first half. Though I wasn't really into a lot of the bars on that record. I don't know. I feel like that's one I'm going to have to listen to more to make heads or tails of. This album is like fading me the fuck out, if I'm being totally honest. We're going to finish it, but I'm personally not. I'm not finishing it as strong as I started it. So if I continue to be unenthused, you know, I guess wait for the review for my full assessment and everything. Because hey, maybe as I listen to it more, maybe I'll love the end of it. I really have no fucking idea. I know personally, like right now, I'd rate that track as okay, but again, not as offensive as anything that happened in the first leg. But I'm just looking forward to the light at the end of the tunnel here and listening to some other stuff. Fountains with Tems is the next track. Let's see if this one is a stylistic switch up. I'm anticipating it will be.
How do you know?
We're getting a little dubby.
Got me losing my mind. Come in, this feels like stay here.
That vocal is ass. That vocal and the vocal melody are both awful. What the fuck?
Baby, we love you, it's all over.
Yeah, sorry, Tems. Again, I don't hate the feature. I don't think the vocal melodies are very good, but honestly, I don't even attribute that to the artist. I feel like anybody hopping on this track is doomed to fail. There's not a lot to work with here between this like little 2-chord progression that's going on here.
I lost my composure.
Like this bass sucks. What the hell is this? Yeah, I was not into that one, unfortunately. Get Along Better. Get Along Better is the name of the next one. Let's give it a shot.
Made amends. I'm better when you're friends. Trust me, this ain't about revenge.
Honestly, I kind of dug that track. It was like a really dramatic rap and R&B blend. Strong, passionate. Loved the kind of lush and traumatic, not traumatic, but tragic instrumentation on it. I thought it was cool. And I didn't mind Drake's vocal performance on it either. A lot better than the last track, honestly. you know, maybe ended a little abruptly. You know, maybe Ty could have ridden the end out a little more, but I thought it was fine track. Not bad at all. Drake, Lil Wayne, and Rick Ross on the next one. You Only Live Twice, with only a few more to go. Let's keep it going. Ba-bam.
Money calling, so I do the deuce up. Something just to shoot something. Payback. Got him looking for that paper die.
I feel like this is exactly the flow and the vocal sample and the beat that you hear on most Rick Ross songs, but like the tempo is 20 clicks faster. And it's kind of making the song, you know?
The bell, who knew that we would sell pies? Your funeral was way too soon, as if your mama there.
What the fuck? That's kind of a fucked up bar.
Niggas deserve to live twice.
Yo, why is Rick Ross the best feature on this record by like 30 miles? Why is Rick Ross the best feature on this thing by 100 miles? What the fuck? Okay. All right. Okay. Ricky. All right. We see you, man. You really fucking dominated this. Jesus Christ.
For the rappy on the dial, it collapses, catalog is immaculate. Boo-boo, excuses, nigga.
It ain't even looking, nigga. I just walking like I my mailbox. Invoices sounding like Jill Scott. My lollipop and my teardrops too.
Shit, the Jill Scott line too? God, why did it take this long to get like real fucking fire? Why did it take this long to get some actual fucking food on this record? And don't get me wrong, there were some decent bangers on here so far, but like that was on another level. That was on another level. Kid Cudi next.
Lifted on my days, my dreams are vivid colors. Unwind. And
I don't know. This is one I'm really gonna have to come back to. I don't really have strong feelings on much of anything that I heard. I think much of it was fine, but you know, it just didn't really hit me, I guess. All right, fucking fans. Second to last one. Guessing Drake is going to be rapping about fucking his fans here. I guess we'll see.
But if I know you're worried up, I'm so sorry for letting you down. I'm home.
Okay, so maybe the last track was pretty good.
I'm still working on me. I cannot be trusted on my own with nobody. I cannot.
Whoa, that's kind of a weird thing to say, Drake. It's kind of weird to say.
Supposed to get to know.
Here's the last track, The Remorse, which I'm feeling. Oh, God, why is it 6 minutes? God, I wish I didn't look at that.
Yeah. Look.
Honestly, like, I'll just rant for a second. I fucking hate this shit. And I feel like Drake is especially, like, abusing it on this record. And I don't know why exactly that is. For some reason, on a lot of these tracks, he's, like, leaving open a lot of space. And then before he enters back in, he's like mic checking, and it's like, bro, you're mid fucking song. You're not starting off. You're not building up. You're not transitioning into another thing. You should still be able to hear yourself. We know it's still you and you rapping. You don't need to mic check your way into your second verse. Like we're in the middle of the fucking song. It just kind of takes me out of what little vibe there is. And for whatever reason, he just keeps doing it over and over on this record. As if like, yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, the song is so boring. You're not putting a chorus or anything in it. So there's no point of transition. So you just kind of take a little bit of a nap after the verse is over and before you come back. Yeah. Oh, we're still recording. Oh, it's still the song. Oh, I'm still rapping. Oh, it's still a track that I'm recording. Okay. Yeah. And it's not even like, you know, a hype or an interesting like intro back into the next verse, it's always a yeah. Whatever. All right, okay, all right. All right, I gotta do something. I gotta do one thing over here. All right. I'm so bored. I gotta do this. What are we doing? Here we go. This is what we want. So we want even. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, here we go. Bam. All right, that's what we want. All right, that's what Daddy was looking for. All right, Twitter.com. 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 Here we go. All right, Los. Here we go. What is it? Search. LosPollos. LosPollos. Here we go. All right, here we go. This guy over here. All right. Giveaway. This, that. Last night, 18K. LMFAO. Drake not only dropped album of the year, but he dropped a fucking classic. The fucking GOAT Drizzy Drake. All right. Quote tweet. Big fat fucking cap. Tweet. All right. Okay. All right. That's all I wanted to do. Okay. Jesus. Album's over. The album's done. I will have no more thoughts on this record. I feel like I've been streaming for 7 hours. I feel like this is the most drained I've ever been before a New Music Friday has even been over. Quite literally. So just I'm literally gonna bend down on the floor right now as if I'm praying to Mecca, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of a tight body stretch for a second. Okay? All right, just because I kind of need it if I'm gonna finish up this next 30 minutes. So just give me 1 second. I'll be right back.